you all ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
We're off on a hike in the Blue Mountains with regular bushwalker Matthew Crompton. The thing he loves most about living in Sydney is its proximity to the bush.
You go an hour in any direction and you can be in really amazing and quite unspoiled nature.
But in recent times, many of his favourite walks have been off limits.
In many cases, tracks have been closed for 2 years, 2.5 years, 3 years or more. And there's a sense that the maintenance and that resilience of land management isn't keeping up.
So Ursula, we're just approaching this sort of major landslip on the Golden Stairs track.
David Crust has been with the National Parks and Wildlife Service for over 30 years. He says climate change is rewriting the rules.
We've had this really challenging environment over the last 4 years with fires and then floods and floods and floods. Some of these tracks we've had to repair 3 times.
In this case, the track had been closed as a precaution.
So fortunately there was nobody here. You know, if there had been, I think there's a real potential that people would have been killed here.
With growing demand for nature tourism, balancing public access with public safety is a major challenge. It's Australia's most visited national park, with almost 6.5 million people coming here every year. And for most, the big attraction is a chance to get out in the wild.
The relatively recent cost of living pressures have meant that families in particular are looking for opportunities for family-friendly, good value activities.
Over the past year, more than $10 million has been spent on the Grand Clifftop Walk, an easily accessible 2-day walk designed for the mainstream tourism market. But some are critical of the priority being given to tourist-friendly attractions.
The Grand Clifftops Walk is nice, but it's not in the middle of this, UNESCO World Heritage Area. It's not out in the bush. And a lot of it is on paved suburban streets.
The walk, though, is proving popular with tourists. Visitor numbers are up 30% since it opened in March.
The Grand Clifftop Walk has attracted an amazing new walker. It's somebody who's thinking, well, I've always wanted to do a multi-day walk, but perhaps a little bit nervous. Gives them that option to come up here and give it a go.
The booming appetite for the outdoors is increasingly attracting commercial attention. Just west of here is a conservation area known as the Gardens of Stone. Work is underway on new walking tracks, picnic areas and campsites.
Part of this process, I guess, was about helping to make a significant contribution to the visitor economy for Lithgow, helping Lithgow to be a better place for the transition away from mining and coal production.
But there's controversy over a proposal to grant a lease to a private tourism operator to build cabins for the luxury market.
We don't want to sell the natural environment, we want to enjoy the natural environment. And it is a real poverty mindset to see the place that we are in and think only what it can be sold for.
A decision on whether the development will go ahead is expected by the end of the year. Hello. Environment Minister Penny Sharp, welcome to State Line. As we've just heard, national parks are increasingly being targeted for tourism development. Are you in favour of giving commercial operators leases to build accommodation on public land, or should national parks be for everyone?
What I'm in favour of is our national parks being for everyone and with as many people able to access them as they can. I want to see them be really the best in the world when it comes to conservation, which is their primary purpose. But I want them to be places that people can go and visit and enjoy and be with nature, undertake recreational activities and just spend time enjoying these very special places.
Isn't the whole idea of a national park to protect the land and the species that live there from development? And isn't allowing commercial development, in effect, privatising a piece of the national park?
Well, we have a range of different activities that are undertaken in parks. I think there's space for people to experience these parks, but I think it's also a very fine balance to make sure that public accessibility remains, which it will no matter what we do.
Turning to another matter, industry is complaining about long delays in the approval of renewable projects in New South Wales. What is your government doing to speed up that process?
Well, we're doing everything that we can. We've made the delivery of the Renewable Energy Roadmap a government-wide priority. So I'm working really closely with the Minister for Planning on the guidelines to speed up approvals. We've started to see approvals coming through the system. We've approved 3 wind farms where we hadn't had anything approved for over 2 years. We're also about to turn our attention to consumer energy resources, rooftop solar, EVs, batteries. All of it's got a role to play as we see the exit of coal-fired power.
As Environment Minister, how concerned are you by the discovery of elevated levels of PFAS chemicals in a dam that supplies drinking water to the Greater Sydney area? What reassurances can you give that Sydney's drinking water is safe?
I'm very concerned about it. I am unfortunately not surprised in relation to PFAS's ubiquity in our environment. It's been known for some time and we're finding it all over the place. We're taking action to phase PFAS out over time, and we've got new legislation that's just been put in place. But to go back to your question around drinking water, the drinking water is safe. We're obviously undertaking more testing and that's ongoing.
Minister, thanks for joining us.
Thanks.